Another day, another $100 million for a new reactor startup company. I'm starting to lose track at this point. But yes, Texas-based Aalo Atomics has raised an insane amount of cash in order to fast-track nuclear reactors for data centers. Aalo Atomics has secured $100 million in Series B funding, doubling its workforce to 120 and ramping up production at its 40,000 square foot facility in Austin. The company's AaloPod units are designed to sit directly beside data centers, supposedly cutting the usual costs and delays tied to traditional nuclear construction. Aalo is building a demonstration site at Idaho National Laboratory, and is in talks to pair a reactor with a data center there, which would be one of the first attempts of its kind in the United States. The Department of Energy has included Aalo's Idaho project in its accelerated pilot program that streamlines approval, bypassing lengthy licenses from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Microreactors like the AaloPod are gaining traction as data centers drive up U.S. electricity demand. The DOE's pilot program aims to clear regulatory hurdles that have slowed down nuclear innovation for decades, and Aalo's selection signals federal interest in commercializing such technology quickly. The company's funding announcement comes just 1 week after DOE announced that Aalo was one of 11 projects to be selected for building demonstration plants at Idaho National Laboratory. With streamlined oversight and new funding, Aalo says it is on track to bring its first plant online by July 2026. And Aalo's funding announcement joins a growing list of others. We have Radiant that closed $165 million earlier this year, TerraPower closed $650 million with NVIDIA, and Terrestrial Energy closed another $280 million in their special fundraising round. Now the small and microreactor space is getting a little bit crowded, but Aalo does have a somewhat unique design. They're leading with the Aalo 1, which is a 30 megawatt thermal, 10 megawatt electric, thermal neutron spectrum, sodium-cooled microreactor, which is inspired by the Marvel microreactor. And that word inspired here is actually pretty important because there's quite a bit of overlap in the design between the two. In fact, the co-founder and CTO, Yasser Arafat, worked previously at Westinghouse for close to a decade. He contributed to a variety of projects including the AP1000 and then went on to start the eVinci microreactor program there. So the CTO of Aalo is actually one of the original leaders on Westinghouse's microreactor design, and now he's over at Aalo doing a microreactor design for his own company. But before that, he joined INL and became the project lead behind the Marvel microreactor, which is another very small microreactor that's funded by Department of Energy and Idaho National Labs in order to be used as a test bed for others. And it's quite small, it's only around 85 kilowatts of thermal energy, so much smaller than the Aalo reactor, which is around 30 megawatts thermal. But these are both liquid metal cooled small reactors in the micro scale. And I should clarify that according to Aalo and Idaho National Laboratories, that the Aalo reactor is not a copy or a direct descendant of the Marvel reactor, it is simply inspired by. But in April, Aalo unveiled its flagship AaloPod, a 50 megawatt electric extra modular reactor, and each AaloPod comprises of 5 Aalo 1 reactors, stating that the system is designed to snap together like Legos using standard electrical and fluid interfaces. And we hear this from a lot of companies these days where they're saying they're going to use a lot of standardized parts, it's going to be very modular and easy to put together, just like Legos. But one of the problems that companies are going to have is that when it comes to actually building these things, especially outside of a laboratory, it gets a lot more complicated. Anybody who's worked on a large construction site, especially for a nuclear plant, will tell you that things change a lot during the actual building of the project. The Westinghouse AP1000, which is also supposed to be modular, can certainly tell you that. But either way, Aalo has been one of the companies that's been moving the fastest in this space. But they've also been aggressively working on how they manage fabrication and their supply chain. One of the big recent announcements they made just a few months ago was they were changing their fuel type. While the company initially designed its Marvel-inspired reactors around uranium zirconium hydride, in June 2025 it announced it was changing to uranium dioxide enriched at 8%, or low-enriched uranium plus, citing supply chain maturity and availability. And notably, the Aalo X at Idaho National Laboratory will use standard off-the-shelf 5% enriched UO2. So unlike a number of the other reactors that are trying to use HALEU fuel or enriched fuel up to around 20%, Aalo has seemed to have abandoned that approach and is now, at least for their demonstration reactor, going to use more or less standard UO2 that we see in other reactors, and then in their commercial plant intending to go up to around 8%. And this really should simplify the supply chain for them. There's a lot of demand for HALEU fuel that's going to be very stretched, and HALEU is very expensive. The co-founder calls it the idiot index, which basically means how much does something cost versus how much do its raw components cost. The fuel that we're using has an index of 2, and the fuel that a lot of our competitors, called TRISO, is using has an index of 10. The levelized cost of electricity contribution from the fuel alone is 10 to 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So even if the rest of your hardware were free, just by buying the fuel, your levelized cost of electricity would be very expensive. And that's true a lot of the designs that are using Halo fuel. Not only is the fuel very difficult to get, there's a limited supply, some of it is really only available from Russia until US production gets going, but it's so expensive that it almost makes a lot of these reactors completely economically infeasible. So these other advanced reactors really only make sense if economics isn't the most important part. So that might be something like portability or reliability, long fuel cycles, or remote operations. It also means that with Aalo's experience in fabricating different designs and using a more standard type of fuel, they should be able to build their plant a lot faster than some of the others. Customers, especially from the data center sector, don't want to wait years for an expensive facility. If you can build a smaller facility faster in a factory and ship it to the site, that's valuable to the customer. But again, we'll have to see. A lot of companies make this claim that their factory-built modular design is going to be faster, cheaper, easier than anything that's ever come before. And even simpler projects, if we go back and look at the Marvel microreactor program, the most recent update that they provided is for fuel fabrication, and that was over a year ago in February 2024. And that's a much simpler reactor design. So scaling that up to a larger commercial version and then trying to build it in a year is certainly going to be challenging. And Aalo was one of just 11 companies that was selected to build at Idaho National Laboratory under an accelerated Department of Energy program. This program actually comes from Trump's executive order, which was released earlier this year, reforming nuclear reactor testing at the Department of Energy, which said that the Secretary shall approve at least 3 reactors pursuant to this pilot program with the goal of achieving criticality in each of the 3 reactors by July 4th, 2026, which is an absolutely crazy accelerated schedule, which leaves us about 10.5 months to go, so we can see which is faster, making a baby or making a nuclear reactor. I'll leave that to your imagination. But this accelerated schedule has drawn some interest from Congress. The Committee on Energy and Commerce sent a letter to Department of Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Specifically, we are concerned that Department of Energy employees have broken the firewall between Department of Energy and the regulation of nuclear reactor safety as mandated by laws for half a century. Over 50 years ago, Congress and President Ford made the decision to separate the parts of government responsible for nuclear reactor safety and promoting nuclear energy development. We are deeply concerned that recent actions have undermined this long-standing relationship between DOE and NRC. Our concerns stem from reports of DOE staff detailed to NRC, who have reportedly told NRC staff that DOE and DOD would approve stuff, and NRC would just be kind of expected to rubber stamp nuclear safety matters, including nuclear reactor licenses, and that Executive Order 14301 attempts to expand the scope of DOE's ability to self-license nuclear reactors, notwithstanding a legal requirement that NRC retain licensing authority over all demonstration reactors, even those constructed on DOE land, such as at Idaho National Laboratory. So we'll see if anything comes from that. I don't expect Congress to actually do anything about this, especially once construction starts on some of these projects at Idaho. And although Aalo may have a leg up in terms of manufacturing, technology, and access to the Department of Energy and experience with their CTO already working at Idaho National Laboratory for many years, they, like a lot of other nuclear startups, haven't announced a long list of customers yet. Though Lozak, the co-founder, declined to identify potential customer data center partners, he said the company is in conversations with quite a few. And I have no doubt that they are actually talking to people, but so far we haven't seen anything written down. The closest they've come is an MOU with the city of Idaho Falls, which is where Idaho National Laboratories is located. Other than that, there's been no binding PPA agreements like we saw with Kairos Power just yesterday. We'll have to see now that Aalo has $100 million in additional funding, if they can turn that into actual contracts for commercial agreements in the future.